Welcome to Instant Discussions.
Part 2!
No, part 1. And
That's the wrong part.
we're discussing the film Escape from Tomorrow. So those of you watching will already see that we've got a guest here. And those of you listening...
From tomorrow.
We'll actually introduce ourselves, I guess, because we don't do that a lot. But
Oh, yeah.
I'm John.
I'm Steffan. Wow, we haven't done this in forever.
I'm Tony, Big Penis Estrada.
And I'm Mike. Hi.
Also Big Penis.
Also.
Mike Furrh is joining us from Geek Lord Radio podcast, which also Steffan is on.
Yeah.
Pretty cool show. Mike joined us for our Oscar special, or movie award night special. It was Oscars because we can say it in the past tense as long as we're not advertising the future thing of it.
We just released our E3 podcast.
Geek Lord, yes.
Oh, by the way, real quick, I wanted to say Tucker and Dale versus Evil, 4 stars. Just want
Are you just gonna go back on the list of all the films that we've done?
No, I want to go back to the one that I was.
He recommended it.
Oh yeah,
the one that I was originally going to be on.
He was supposed to be on that one.
He looks like the guy from Trailer Park Boys.
That's what we were saying.
Which one?
Oh, Julian? Or wait, is that the one?
Not Julian.
Wait, the one that you look like.
Oh, but yeah, that guy. Okay, cool.
We'll get into it.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we're gonna extend it. All right, so let's start off on this one.
Starring Randy Quaid. Right?
No, not at all. Not even starring Randy Moore. But all right, this is the 2013 American fantasy horror film. Main thing about this movie, it was filmed in Disney World and Disneyland without permission, because unless you're Disney, you can't really get permission to shoot a film.
Still surprised they never sued them.
At a certain, we'll talk about that in the afterwards stuff. But
After party.
so I'd seen this movie before. I want to hear what you guys thought on your first reaction.
I've never seen it, never heard of it. When I saw the picture, thought it was just a Disney crazy cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Looks very Disney.
I was just the fact that it was at Disney World and I knew that they couldn't have had permission.
Mm-hmm.
That part was awesome. Everything else was kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the very beginning, they're just going to the worst part. They're just like, here's a ride, and we're saying fuck you Disney for about 10 minutes, and I was like, all right, well let's get some story in here.
Okay.
Just me.
Mike?
I literally, he basically said it. I mean, it's the cool part was, hey, here's Disney, and they shoved that in your face, like you said in the very beginning of like, hey, here's Disney. But the rest was just like, what the fuck is going on this entire movie? And it wasn't like the cool kind of way, like, man, I'm so interested to see what happens next. It's more man, why am I still watching this? It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Steffan.
Okay, so hitting the nail on the head over there. But I'll add to it that my contention was just that it was very slow.
Yes.
Just going where it was going. Once it started to get there, okay, I started paying attention a little more because I like trying to figure that kind of weird shit out.
Yeah.
Of what's going on. Why is he having Epcot on his head? Like things like that. Where like then I get interested and I start thinking about it. But past that, it was just like.
Thanks, John.
I think it was slow, but what I thought in the beginning, especially watching it a second time, so getting a different view on it because I already know where it's going in here, and also I had done some reading about the director before watching it again the second time, so I started thinking about it more in the way that the director's thinking about it, and I mean the beginning part you're establishing Disneyland, so if you think about it, if you put it aside that it was illegally shot in Disneyland and just thinking about it as a film. Say that they actually were able to get permission to shoot in here because it wasn't their intention going in to make something just to guerrilla shoot it in Disneyland. He just wanted to set the story there, but based on the storyline, didn't think he could get permission, so didn't bother asking.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have gotten it anyway. So just thinking about it in that way, they're establishing Disneyland as this setup of the place that it is where you've got your memories there. It can be this fun place, but also some people can look at it as just a weird assortment of people there. So at the very beginning, you're just in the joy part of it, looking at everything happening, fun on the rides, and then there's a decapitation for some reason in there. And so that little bit of something's wrong
exciting.
Here in the Magic Kingdom, the very cheaply done.
I ultimately felt like that was, to me at least, one of its only saving graces was the fact that it took place in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I care. By my amount, I care is practically nothing.
But that's like the core concept of the psychology of the film.
Yeah,
it needed to be.
That's part of what.
If it was at Knott's, wouldn't have flied.
Nope.
So we may have already talked about
not
this in your discussions of this, but favorite part of the movie. Is there a favorite thing aside from that it took place in Disneyland?
The only favorite part, the part that I liked was just him being like a pervert with those French girls. Like I was waiting for a boner to pop.
He just had a boner this whole time. This guy.
No, I'm just saying I like that.
He
like,
was excited for the characters.
No,
sorry.
Because it was funny because it's obvious to the kids, it's
Yes.
obvious to the wife, and she's just like, God damn it again. Like, I'm assuming he's done that before. He probably wanted to go to Disneyland just for that world.
They've definitely had some issues. You can tell that, but
I thought that was funny.
But apparently, I don't think he's ever gone after underage girls before, because of when she said, they look a little young even for you.
Yeah.
He likes younger women, but he hasn't gone that young before. I think that something in the cat flu is what drove him to.
That cat food part was fucking stupid.
Well, the cat flu's
Still don't get it.
there the whole time. You're just, it's.
But that was
You can be a host without knowing it.
Yep.
Is that like the game?
No,
No.
not at all.
But now you
No,
know.
he signed the papers.
Did you have a favorite part then, aside from?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think my favorite part, and the only reason I like it is because this is like the part of the movie where they just turn the ridiculous value up to 11, was when he gets tased in the nuts and brought into the
the
inside
Siemens Dome.
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't. I mean, just like a lot of things in this movie, that part just does not make sense. For the most part, at least to me, it didn't make sense. And that was when they just ratcheted it up. It's like, hey, we were already messing with you. Now we're like full on screwing with you at this point.
I think it full on. That's when you get into the dark world that they're talking about. And before, the dark world's just suggested in there. They don't really see anything in the dark world before that. I mean, the only thing you see is there's the strange woman who he meets, having the nice casual conversation, says that the turkey leg's actually emu.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, could be true. I don't know. I haven't heard Disney say that
his
it's
legs are very thin.
Yeah, I haven't heard Disney say that they're not emu. If that's what you're asking.
Where's the birth certificate?
America.
Can we turn this into internet activism? Make a hashtag.
Sure.
Where's the emu birth certificate? Hashtag.
Disney, if you'd like to tell us that it's not emu in your turkey legs, go ahead.
But until you do it, it's emu.
We're just gonna assume that it is.
Oh man.
Well, so you get the little bits of something strange is going on here, and that is the reveal, the main reveal. It's kind of like in any horror movie where you've got a monster, you've got like the monster runs by in the background, you hear something, there's little bits of it, but you have to get to that point in the movie, and this happened an hour into the film after the intermission that they gave there. It happens 2/3 of the way into the movie where they actually show the monster. Essentially, they're saying, all right, yes, there is something going on here, and we're flat out showing it. Though they don't get to explore it that far because he kills the robot that was.
By the way, best intermission ever.
No,
No, just like, hey, here's a hard cut of the first half of the movie. It's just like, bam, black screen intermission. There it is.
Yep.
And it's there for 5 seconds. Like, all right, back to the film.
Because you can pause it if you want to at that intermission. They're not forcing you an intermission.
Because in an hour and a half movie, I have to. Like, how many hour and a half movies have I seen in my life? Like, you know what? 45 minutes, that's just a little bit too long.
I've seen a lot of hour and a half movies where an hour into it, I'm like, oh God, when is this going to be over? But
There will be blood.
That first half, though,
Don't even bring that up.
Now I understand why they need it. Because that first half, I probably should have taken a break.
Yeah.
Just realistically.
There's some long stuff.
That's what she said.
I know. I think I checked the timer around 30 minutes into it.
I don't know.
I thought we're not supposed to check timers. That's what you guys told me.
First time I watched this, I didn't check the
He
timer.
said
because we
he
had a
doesn't
screening
like
of it.
doing it.
Yeah, I said I don't like doing it, but occasionally if I hit the thing, just curiosity. If you wonder at a certain point, like, I gotta know.
Yeah,
I gotta know.
I had to know.
What's
I did it.
what's the time at this one, and I wanted to know when the intermission came up, so I had checked on the intermission one. So I gotta say, my favorite part is kind of tied with the reveal of the Siemens Dome, the Epcot inside dome. It's the company. It's the company. That name is literally all over that dome at night.
There's semen all over that dome.
Wasn't the Bukkake Dome, it was the Seaman Dome.
Yes, Siemens. Siemens.
If you go to
not
Critter
Siemens,
Country, there's
Siemens.
poo everywhere.
Yes, there is.
Disney
Yeah.
humor.
There's pee in the restrooms all over the floors. It's not really a pun. It's just kind of.
There's just
That was
urine
weird.
everywhere.
No, so it's just...
Anyway, so I gotta say that that's a tie for my favorite part. That and the ending. I actually really like the ending of it.
I have a problem
I'm gonna
with
get
that.
into explaining the ending later because we need to go really
Yeah,
in depth
okay.
with that one. Did you favorite part, Steph?
I like the ending.
All right.
Yeah, there we go.
And my other favorite part was this
thought
is
you
a
might
silly
like it.
part. Was him watching the Asian businessman just grope the
Yes!
princesses. That part was so
Because
great.
that was another part where you
That
get
was
that
hot.
reveal too of the
Yeah.
like they're telling him these things like that's not true.
That's not true.
I was just
Yeah,
kidding
so-
about that. They're not
that,
really
that
close.
was so great.
Yeah, they are.
I loved that.
Yeah, that was good stuff. All right, It's tough for me to invite this. Worst parts about the movie.
I already told you the worst parts.
The whole
Your one worst part.
one worst part.
But what's the worst thing about
worst
it?
thing about
worst
the movie?
idea? Worst.
The
part?
worst thing was just that whole beginning where you're like, get on with the fucking movie. It's like, yeah, that's Disney World, and you could have shown that for 5 seconds or 5 minutes. You chose the 5 minutes. No.
I didn't think it was that slow in that because there was so
To
much
me, it
in
was
there
so
that was
slow.
going on. The
There was
slow
barely-
builds of what was the tension that was going on between the two of them. They get really quick into the they show the stuff. As soon as you see the main character, you learn he gets fired. So that already starts advancing that, and you've got that tension with his son.
Even the way they
Then, as soon as they get in the small world, which happens really quickly in that,
which didn't have the real music, so it's bullshit.
no, it didn't, because
Yeah, because they're worried about getting sued. That's why they shot in Disneyland.
it's one thing to get sued over. Oh, we shot in Disneyland. Oh, we didn't know we couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't use their music. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
They get really
It
serious.
just
about
took me out of the
music.
story. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they took out all the music.
They wrote that right. La 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 la.
Wiener, wiener, wiener.
Fluffy
I
weed.
don't think that was the song. All right, worst part.
Can I get away with saying the whole first half?
Sure.
No,
Yeah,
I'll give you.
I'd say that.
I will tune it down a little bit. It's not any single scene. It's anything where he's following the French girls. I had a real problem with that because it seems so out of character for this guy who has his family and obviously cares about his wife because he's too busy trying to fuck her in weird places the entire movie, and he's randomly following these girls that. One of them definitely doesn't look like she's a day above 14. The other one is questionable, and it's like, so you're gonna bring these pedophile,
Yeah, I think
bring these pedophile moments into it, and it's just like
it's reminiscent of American Beauty, but that one at least she was 17 or so.
Made sense.
It made sense closer to that age. I think that it's odd that they went that young on it. I've got to blame cat flu for him going that young on that. It's got to be the cat flu because I don't think that's normally in his behavior. There's something weird going on there.
100 years ago would have been legal.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So I wish that they had the girls be older in that because then it would have made a lot more sense for him following that. But it does make it more out of his character and make it more of a cause for concern that the family should have noticed that he was.
well, and I looked
so
into
young.
it. Well, I can say she's attractive because I'm pretty sure she's of age. The one without the braces, the one without the braces, the other one. She looks like she's old enough, and I believe she is. If they had paired her with a different girl that looked a little bit older, it wouldn't have seemed so creepy.
So maybe they really wanted it to be.
Yeah, it had to be
that's what it had to be.
There's no way you would have picked that girl with the braces.
That girl with the braces.
Yeah.
But then there's that plot hole of like, then why is he? It didn't make
Cat flu.
sense. All great. Yeah.
Cat flu's why he's following her.
Can I make
I don't buy it, but okay.
addendum to my favorite part when
Sure.
he's explaining how beautiful his wife is? Oh, that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, when
It
he said, "Oh, like Tina Fey," dude, I think Tina Fey's really attractive.
Yeah, that's
what
a
the
really
hell?
good compliment.
It was
He's like,
funny,
you thought I looked
Said I
like
looked
Emily
like
Dickinson. First of all,
I like Emily Dickinson.
First of all, how do you know off the top of your head what Emily Dickinson looks like?
Words.
Yeah. Descriptions of Emily Dickinson.
We could talk about Emily Dickinson.
Okay, sure.
Worst part.
Well, worst part. I gotta say that the
Worst part.
pacing in the beginning part. But the toilet scene in the end. I like what happened in it, though. Just it's a lot of. I'm not a big fan of toilet stuff, but it was neat. It was necessary in this scene. It was necessary.
You
for
didn't like the
cat food
diarrhea
part.
followed by the throwing up?
Oh, yeah. That was very South
It wasn't
Park-ish.
throwing up. It was hairballs.
It really was.
It was hairballs because he had cat flu.
Bloody hairballs.
Yes.
got
Yeah,
bloody
the diarrhea
hairballs.
part at the beginning of it starting was just seemed weird and unnecessary.
dumb.
But then as it became cat flu, I was like, okay, well,
Lot of
it
Dumb
was
and
okay.
Dumber
It's
right
fine
there.
that you did that.
Oh yeah, it was Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it kind of was. It was just like, all right, worst part.
Worst part was either the fact that it was a slow build or I didn't feel the tension.
Yes, I gotta say that. And I think in the watching it again because I know where it's going in that, and also I was looking for the story in that. It worked for me in that.
It felt slow because I didn't feel the tension. The tension was supposed to be there,
Yes,
but it didn't grab
no,
me.
you didn't grab it. All right, so star ratings on this.
I'm gonna have to go with a 1.5 because I'd still rather watch this than There Will Be Blood. I fucking hate that movie. This was horrible.
much.
If I had to choose, I would watch this movie again.
I can't forgive you for that, by the
so
way.
much.
I cannot.
You're so terrible.
It's so boring. You want to talk about the slow build? Oh my god. But that's another movie for
Mike,
another.
save us. Mike, save us. What do you?
I'm so mad about
Just
that.
ignore this
I'm so
part.
mad about that comment, though. Not
James,
mad.
He's gonna do it.
Have you seen The Road?
Supremely disappointed. No, I haven't.
Oh yeah.
There's everything that he gave higher ratings.
I'm
than the-
supremely disappointed in him for that. Anyways, I'll get past it for now. Well, I didn't hate it, and I didn't like it, so I'm gonna go 2-star because that's the only reasonable thing for me to do.
All right, I gotta let you go first, Steffan. 2 stars.
2 stars.
Um,
I could have gone 2.5 if it let me.
so this is an interesting thing, and I'll get more in on this in the extended part as
Don't say
I'm
guessing
to
it's
my
gonna be a
personality
4.
for here.
Don't say 4.
But
Did you change it between watchings?
I didn't rate it after the first watching because it wasn't on Instant Watch, so I just had it. I actually had bought this on iTunes first, so I'm gonna leave it with a 4. I'm gonna leave it with a 4
it's
stars.
horrible.
I thought you hated it.
No,
Really?
no.
Okay.
I believe this movie falls into certain criteria.
Okay.
But I also like some of that stuff that it falls into, and
Let me put it this way then. From the first time you saw it to the time you saw it, obviously you haven't rated it, but in your mind, did it get better when you saw it a second time?
Yeah, I think because I looked into the making of the film and the artist's intention on it, that definitely brought it up more because I like when someone goes for a vision regardless of their their capabilities.
In this case, their ability to tell a coherent story.
Yes, but their passion is there, and I saw that and I liked it. So that's where it gets to the 4 stars for me.
Next week,
we
will be watching Gattaca.
Excellent choice.
It's a good movie.
Very
Alright.
good choice.
Do you want to tell us anything about it? We're just going to say Gattaca.
Gattaca.
Cool.
It's not Galactica.
No,
Gattaca.
Not Attica either.
So
Gattaca.
not Attica.
Not Africa.
Nope, not Africa either.
Not Africa.
I am Africa.
All right. Thank you for watching, rate, review, comment, all that good stuff. Check out Geek Lord Radio.
Rate and review, not
.com, Facebook,
Yeah,
Twitter,
not the
all
thing.
of it.
All that good stuff.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching. Stick around for our extended footage, right?